Hi everybody, it's Yolanda and welcome to Parenting Q&A, which happens every Thursday on at 11:30 on the Empowered Parents group page. So to all of you who are watching and who will come watch this later, welcome to Parenting Q&A. If you've got a question coming up, then do post it in the comment section below and I will answer your question. As I say, there is not a question that I have not been able to answer till today. So I challenge me, ask me a question that you find. It can be parenting, it can be in your life, it can be a relationship question. Really, I am the way we do one thing is the way we do all things. I see it so many times. Parents who face challenges with their kids have got questions unanswered in other areas where relationships are concerned. So feel free to ask me a question, and this is your time. This is your parenting Q&A. Do feel free to put in the comment section a question that comes up. However, today we are talking about connected conversations with your teenagers. And this has been a question that's come up so many times with so many parents that I work with. And as you can imagine, on our parenting journey, I hear so many parents say, when my child turned into a teenager, everything changed. They had a voice, they wanted to be heard, they were demanding, they were putting me down. Challenges do come up in parenting, and more so when our kids turn and transform into the teenager world. So few tips for you on how you can have those connected conversations. And I'm approaching, I can talk for hours on this topic. I've got so much of knowledge and information and support that I can provide on this topic. However, what I'm going to cover is just a few basics which puts you on the right track, is how I see it on this topic. If you'd like to know more, I have a webinar coming up on anger management, and really why I'm referencing this topic here is because our teenagers can bring up a lot of anger within us, and there would be reasons why that comes up for us. So keep an eye out for my anger management for parents, because you will find lots of reference there to what I'm going to share with you. So first step really is trust. It is so important in all relationships, and it is a key component of all relationships in our life, and that is trust. So having our teenagers trust us, and more importantly, to be able to trust our teenagers is the foundation. If you don't have that now, that is something I will get you to question why, become curious. What is the reason there is that foundation is missing, and how can I first off dive deep and build trust with my teenager? Because trust is the foundation of any relationship, and trust is the foundation of that relationship with our teenager. Our teenager needs to know that we trust them, and our teenager needs to feel that they can trust you. So asking you a question, do you trust your teenager, and does your teen trust you? If not, articulation is key. Write that down. What is it? Why do you think? What's the gap in that trust, and where has that come from? That will give you big clues on how to move forward in building that foundation. There's no point fixing the external issue. We haven't gone down to fix the core issues, because if we follow set rules, like a lot of psychologists and counselors will say, okay, to have conversation with your kids, put your phones off, or connect with them, be with them in the present moment, listen to them. However, you will find, and I hear this a lot from parents who say that they follow through with that, and that only works temporarily, and it's not consistent. To have consistent results and to have consistent connected conversations with our child, we must backtrack and look at that foundation of trust. That was your step number one. The second thing I'd like to cover with you is to recognize triggers in your conversation with your child, with your teen. At what point do you find yourself getting triggered by them? At what point do you find them getting triggered by you? This will give you an understanding of what is undealt with within you first. So remember that for any relationship to succeed, the only work we can focus on is the work we do within ourselves, because the only person in a relationship we have control over is ourselves. So finding out and becoming curious. My favorite word is curious. Today I heard this little saying is, before you become furious, become curious. So I like that, and I'm going to repeat that. So before you find yourself becoming furious about what's unfolding in the conversation, become curious. Become curious about yourself. What is it that is triggering me? What about what they're saying is triggering me? So I had a mom yesterday on my workshop saying that she has lost connection with her 17-year-old daughter. Her daughter has gone into a relationship that the mom doesn't feel is safe for her, and in her quest to protect her daughter and save her from making wrong decisions, because she has approached this with so much fear, and she's coming in with so much emotions to protect her daughter from being hurt, from the pain, from the influence of this relationship that might have on her daughter. What she has really done, because of this approach that she has taken, and mind you, it's coming from so much care, what has happened, it's actually caused a disconnect between her daughter and her, because of the anxiety, because of the fear, because of the anger that towards her daughter, that she isn't following, that she has attracted this relationship that no longer serves her. All of this has put in so much of negative energy into that relationship, that really what she is now as a result has no influence over her daughter. Her daughter has cut her off and refuses to talk about her relationship with her mom at all. It has become a no-go zone for the mom. So this is what happens with our relationship with our teenagers. When we approach them from not having that foundation of trust, of not addressing our own triggers within us, that is causing us to feel this anxiety, to feel the fear in this conversation that is so important to have. What if we don't recognize these? What we are really diving into is what we are fearing the most, and that is that disconnect and not being able to support your teenager through that challenge that they are facing. So to be able to avoid this from happening, it is so important that you become curious about yourself, what is bringing about those triggers in you, deal with your trigger points. So in the case with the mom that I was sharing with you before, this mom had her own relationship issues. She has so much fear around relationships. She didn't trust relationships because of her own experiences in relationships. She's coming in with so much fear and concern, which has caused her daughter to build a wall and cut her off. So as you start to understand where your anxiety is coming from, awareness is key. You start to diffuse those reasons why you would be triggered in the first place. So address those issues within you. I struggled with this myself, as my older daughter, who's now 20, had started dating. I struggled in relationships myself, so I was bringing my fears and anxieties onto her relationships. And when I saw this, so just recognizing and becoming aware, you start to see that these are not their experiences, so you cannot connect to them from your own unresolved issues, because they have not had those experiences. They're just coming into the world, starting to have adult experiences, and as we try to support them and connect to them with those issues, with our undealt triggers around that situation, our kids build a block, a wall towards our support that we are so willing to provide to them, because we feel we have so much to offer. So become curious. Where is your teenager at? What is her level of exposure? What is her level of experience in this area that is challenging her? Once we start to step out of this need to have that conversation and need to support, as we step out of this and see what is the real scenario, what is her need right now, how much does she already know, what does she need as the next step to support her, so I can still keep that trust and I can still keep holding her hand as she walks through these challenges. The other thing I would love for you to know, that our kids need to experience falling, slipping. This is part of their journey. If we are looking at protecting them from having hardships and having the experiences, we go into overprotection mode and rip them off of the experiences that they can have, or the learnings that they can have, which is so good for them to learn now at a younger age, while they're still under our roof, while they're still in our care, and have those experiences before they go into the real world and have and experience the whole reality of life. I hear so many parents wanting to protect their kids, so they say no social media, no friends, no sleepovers, no partying till late, no, putting all these rules, creating this wall of protection around their teen, because they struggle with their own capacity to deal with those issues. And what they're doing is, when that child is older and going into the real world, that child has no skills. They are having to experience all of those experiences that their peers have already been through in their teenage years. They're having to experience it as like novices in their 20s and 20 pluses. So let that not be the case. Let them have those times when they will slip, they will fall, knowing that you trust them, and they trust you, that you've got their back as they go through life and go through those experiences. The other point I would love to share with you is to validate them and hear them. Ask yourself, where and how am I validating them as they share their experience with me? How am I allowing them to feel heard? Possibly when they come to a challenge with you, all they want is to feel validated, to feel heard, to feel supported, and to know that you trust them no matter what. So with that, guys, if anyone's got any comment, any question on what I have shared today, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said before, I've got my anger management program coming through, webinar coming up next week. The link will be in the comment box here, so that you can jump on that. I will be sharing so much on understanding our emotions and how we can support our kids through their emotions. I'll be talking about anger and how to approach anger that our child might go through and children go through, how to support them through, and the importance of anger as well. Anger is a very when we reach a point of anger, it allows for a breakthrough. So allow for that to jump on that webinar to find out how anger can be used as a tool for connection and not so much a bridge or a wall. It's more of a bridge than a wall that we create in our relationship with our teens. If you liked what I said and you'd like to know more, and you probably have a condition where you're feeling that disconnect with your teenager, then I will put down a link to a chat with me where I can support you immediately. It's a free 30-minute pattern discovery chat, and what you will get from this chat is the ability to understand your pattern, to understand your child's pattern from my perspective, from what I can see from doing this work for so long. I can identify patterns really quickly, and that's why it's just a 30-minute chat with you where I look at your child's pattern, look at your pattern, and provide you with new alternative ways of approaching your situation. Because remember, what has created this situation up to now is following set patterns. So in order to have new results, we need to set in new patterns and new ways of responding to our child. So feel free to book that in. I've just got three free chats available, but you must book today. So with that, I'm trying to see what else would I like to tell you about teenagers. It has slipped my mind, but come and join me on an event. It is so important, the relationships we face with our teenagers. So oh yes, I got it. Challenges offer an opportunity to connect. Change your perception. Anytime I face a challenge with my teenagers, and I also share this with my clients, when you see a challenge coming up in your relationship, hey Danny, good to see you. Perceive the challenge as an opportunity to connect, and this can be applied to any area of your life. Challenges offer opportunities to connect in any relationship. So deep dive in. This is all about the 4 C's of empowered parenting that I talk about. Being courageous, being committed, being consistent in your response allows you to be that confident parent that your child is so deserving of. And with that, I will love you and leave you. Have a lovely day. Bye.